that are down, counting this one now, however, have been the most spectacular.
The show would belong to Ryder as he dazzled even the toughest critics.
Oh, between his legs! How about it? Charles Barkley, what do you think?
Oh, my God! That might be the best dunk I ever seen. I don't know if I've ever seen a dunk like that before. That was awesome.
Joining an illustrious line of champions, Ryder had managed to add his own personal footnote.
When I was drafted, I bragged and said I was going to win it, and I backed up what I said. So, you know, I got to love myself for that.
That crowd has to love you, too.
It's amazing to me how well fans remember the dunk contest. I still get people who want to talk to me about when I took off from the foul line. It really seems to touch people emotionally. But I've won dunk contests, I've judged them, and I've watched them as a fan. And I don't think I've ever seen more excitement than I did in Dallas in 1986 for Spud Webb.
Long before Spud Webb was even contemplating the NBA, there were little men who found great success using their quickness and their carefully honed skills. The paint, however, was the unquestioned domain of the big men. And it was not until 1986, when Spud traveled to Reunion Arena in Dallas to enter the slam dunk contest, that the smaller player made his impact felt on the history of the dunk.
You know, I figured if I got the first one, that I had a chance. And, you know, you have to be in your wildest dream to think you can beat Dominique. But when you get into those zones where you figure you can't be beat, then the focus is so high that you go out and believe you can win.
Here comes Sputnik.
He had never dunked in a practice or in a game up into the dunk contest, so we didn't know he could do it.
Spud would open eyes all over the league as he pulled off one of sports' most remarkable upsets.
Go out and win that is self-satisfying feeling that, you know, you can cherish for the rest of your life. I think it changed the way we look at smaller guys.
Spud's heroics would inspire other little men to follow him, but their path to the rim was still a difficult one.
I don't think they got any business running across the lane and things like that. I think you have to let them know that, hey, this is where I live.
It would be up to Phoenix Sun point guard Kevin Johnson to make the next bold statement for the smaller player.
Every now and then you got to show them that that's fair game, and sometimes they won't let you enter through the front door. You kind of have to go over them, kind of like jumping the fence.
The Suns. Kevin Johnson in at the baseline. Stuffs it, and he had to climb the man mountain to do it.
KJ can get up he was like an 8-footer and then dunk on anybody. So if you don't watch out this big man, you get dunked.
Should be played at high volume.
Following KJ's lead, a swarm of little men would now aggressively take to the air.
You know, as a guard, you know, you have to find those openings, and once you see it, you just have to go.
Starts with the step.
I love taking it over the top. If a big man is there, that's even more satisfying.
You don't too often catch a guy that you can dunk on all the time. You know, you really have to pick and choose when. So when you do get the opportunity, I mean, the crowd gets into it, and you're hyped. That's the ultimate feeling. Especially a center, because they hate it.
The guy like that, when he dunk on you, you remember first you look at yourself and say, oh my God, I've been CNN, ESPN, TNT, NBC.
One assailant Mutombo doesn't have to fear is his teammate Robert Pack. As for the rest of the league, however, Pack has already served notice that they better beware.
I'm going to come out and show them that even though I'm short, my dunks are going to have a lot of power to them. And a lot of height.
Takes it away.
You can't take anything from anyone on the court, no matter what size, how much they weigh, you can't back down it up. And I've always been that way. If someone challenged me, it's on.
With his fearless approach, Pack has become one of the league's most devastating dunkers.
Pack all the way! How about that?
And as players like Pack recklessly invade the lane, they continue to make a strong statement that the little man will never be earthbound again.
Just cut loose and do whatever it takes to get the job done on the court, to get respect, to win, to let everybody know that you're here to play. So don't take me lightly.
Ellie and in your face, Kevin Johnson. Oh my!
The little guys are great to watch because their feet get so high off the floor. It really looks like they're flying. But if you want to see someone bring the house down, you got to go with the big guys. They're not interested in taking off on one foot, floating through the air. When they jam on you, you don't stand around and admire it.
They are basketball's most earth-shaking force. Powerful men who wield the slam like a sledgehammer. And from the moment they step out on the floor, they seem to be in the grip of a dunking frenzy.
It's just like a metamorphosis. Something just takes over. I just have to throw it down hard. I don't know what it is. I can't control it.
And when it comes to power dunking, Shaquille O'Neal is widely regarded as the state of the art.
Driving, backs in left on McDaniel. He missed the shot. O'Neal jams it in. He leaves McDaniel in his wake on the floor.
He sort of said, "Well, couldn't you stop that big fella?" I don't know if there's a man alive that could have stopped that slam.
What a power slam. Beautiful play.
Now you've got a guy comes in the lane who has force like the Terminator.
Fast Scott. O'Neal foul and score.
He is ferocious.
Skiles fires it low to Shaq. He turns and shoots, no good. Gets his own rebound back and dunks it. He dunked it on Olajuwon.
I'm 7'1", 303. And if I can get the dunk 10 out of 10 times, I'm going for the dunk 10 out of 10 times.
Oh, what a move by Shaquille O'Neal, and you get the idea he feels he can do whatever he wants.
But though Shaq may be today's most celebrated practitioner of the power slam, it first gained popularity in 1959 when Wilt Chamberlain began to overwhelm opposing centers.
Just physically, he was bigger, stronger, faster than anyone's ever played. I mean, it's not even close.
Once Wilt got anywhere around the basket, it was you could hurt your head if you happened to be standing underneath the net. Very few centers in that era had much success in keeping him from doing it.
Following Wilt's example, other big men adopted his forceful approach, and the NBA began to reverberate with rim-rattling jams.
Keeps it alive. Over for Walton. Lucas for the steal.
And by the time the league entered the 80s, power players were expected to deliver their signature shot.
Chuck Davis told me, he said, well, you spoil these people. If you go in the game, you got to dunk. If you don't dunk, hey, they're upset. You know, so we just got to get some plays to get you the ball right there where you can do your thing.
Away from the ball. Here's Dawkins. Oh, what a muscle move.
Now that was a monster jam.
But those centers may have brought it into fashion. Power dunking is not confined to the pivot.
There's McKeskey open, a good shooter. Not this time, though, and Barkley a rebound. 9 rebounds for Charles, who's had a battle for them all. Here he comes.
Just dunk it, just dunk it, just dunk it, just dunk it. That's all you're thinking.
Sixers hoping to earn overtime. Here goes Barkley. He's going right to the hoop. What a play by Barkley.
It's exciting because when you go into the hoop, you just got that one thing and you just want to attack it, you know, like your worst enemy.
Jazz by 4. Stockton in a hurry. He put Jimmy Kempton in about the second row that time.
With players of all description getting into the act, it became clear that attitude, not size, was the key to success.
What's this stain?
I'm into power, you know, dunking on somebody. That's what I'm into.
Mourning takes it with the left hand. Mourning.
You know, you're coming down on a fast break and you just rise up over someone and then you dunk it.
Robinson.
Everybody just is going crazy and you just feel like you say, ah, so good.
And as the superstars of today do battle, it is the slam dunk that has become their most decisive weapon.
You can't let anyone intimidate you, and everything's yours. You get the ball, I'm going to dunk over your head.
That was
This is my court, my ball, my team. We're going to beat your team. We're going to make your team look bad.
Let me tell you one thing about power dunking. When you put that much force behind your jam, one thing you better not do is miss. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of people laughing at you. At least that's what they tell me.
It is one of sport's most thrilling moments. There is open court ahead and defenders behind.
I've seen fans just stand up and what's he going to do? How is it going to look?
The adrenaline rushes. Concentration is complete. And time seems to almost stand still.
You're on a fast break and just reach for the sky.
You are alone leading the fast break. And as you near your goal, there is only one thing on your mind.
I'm saying to myself, gotta be exciting and he can't miss it.
Here comes Shrimp taking off and jamming it. Oh, he missed it!
On the lob.
Oh, my! Quick burst to the hoop. Oh, he missed the dunk.
Here's the lob. Unbelievable! Charles Barkley. He's human.
Let's see Hunter steal it. And missed the stop.
Scoop to Doherty. Oh, he missed the slam.
Jerome Kersey missed the jam.
X to D.
Whoa! Chicago controls the tip, and here comes Jordan. And he blew the stuff. It must be the shoes. Oh, that's embarrassing.
When you miss a wide open gem, it's the most embarrassing thing in the world. It's like tripping and falling on your face in the middle of rush hour. You know that 18,000 fans are watching you in that stadium, let alone the people that are watching on TV. I mean, if you want to really be known as a good player, you don't miss dunks.
He's by midcourt. Buckle up, baby! Oh!
It either slips or you just miss it.
Underneath, and O'Neal misses the slam dunk.
I've never seen a player make all of his dunks.
Dishing off to Shaquille. He missed the slam. You won't see him do that very often.
That's probably the loneliest feeling in the world there.
Oh, and he couldn't finish that one.
You don't want to deal with that too much.
Deep Brown. No, he missed it!
There was one time I had a fast break and I put a little bit too much in it. I just went up, crowd stood up and just did what I could and just hit the front of the rim.
He's off to the races. Nobody will catch him. He missed the dunk.
I wanted to quit after that.
But perhaps one of the NBA's most memorable miscues came courtesy of Dominique Wilkins during the 1991 All-Star Game in Charlotte.
Switches to the left hand. Ricky Pearson, the ball game now from the Bucks. Wilkins, look out! Oh, he blows the dunk! He can't believe it! Look at him at the other end.
When it's wide open like that, you sort of hold on to your seat. So when he did it, and he missed it, first I was in shock, then I had to laugh at it.
Oh, they wrote me bad. The intention was good. When I went up, I said, I'm gonna make this dunk. My leg said no, don't even try it. But it was at that time it was too late to stop the wind up. Actually, it was more fun than that. I had a good time. I laughed.
Dominique will tell you that the worst part about that dunk was not that it was on national television. The worst part was having to go into the locker room afterwards. Teammates have no mercy. But he'll also tell you that you have to keep going for it because one dunk can put you on the map, for better or worse. Just ask Charles Barkley.
At the 1993 NBA Draft, Chris Webber was chosen first by the Orlando Magic and prepared himself to play a supporting role to center Shaquille O'Neal. But within minutes, he would be sent 3,000 miles away to Golden State, where he would abruptly be recast as their front court savior and face some immediate concerns.
Will I live up to the expectations of, being the #1 pick or the money that they're paying me, and it seems overwhelming.
But by the season's 6th game, Webber had begun to answer his questions. And facing reigning MVP Charles Barkley, he made a bold statement to the rest of the league.
Saved by Ainge. Nice fake on Owens. Back to Green, into the hands of Spurwell. Fast break down to Webber. He turns. Look out behind the back! And the stuck of the foul! What a play by Webber!
Well, I saw him coming. I didn't really think he was going to jump. I really don't think you should jump when a guy, has an advantage on you, and I can jump pretty high, and I'm taller than him. So I didn't think he was going to jump, and he jumped, and I got him. But I'm sure somebody will get me one day, so I don't want to make too much of a big deal out of it.
Webber's sensational dunk would have farther-reaching